KSVP, the swag of View Park, 99.3 Swag FM.
We're the cool kids from 99.3. Cool kids from 99 rocks.
We're younger, we know our old school music, taking you back in the day. 98.1 FM, KKSW, cool kids from what?
KKFW means cool kids from Watts.
The all-new KKFW.
For the new kids on the block, KKFW, cool kids from Watts.
98.1 FM. It's the Boy and Girl Show on KSVP 99.3, the swag of View Park. It's the top 4 at 4 on 98.1 KKFW, cool kids from Watts.
What was the inspiration that sparked the concept of accelerated radio?
My inspiration is the memory of my first introduction to a radio station at the age of 11 years old. Brother James Ford had his own show, Gospel Train Part 2. He was my neighbor, older man, and he took me under his wing and took me to a radio station and showed me everything. And from that day forward, I was in love with radio. I rushed back home to try and build a radio station in my closet. I began to eat, sleep radio. I loved it from that day forward and how it changed my life. So the memory of that, and I was thinking if it helped me throughout life, you know, a program like this, a broadcasting school for kids, will most definitely help the kids of today.
Hi, my name is Robert Bell. I am the technical engineer for 98.1 KKFW Cool Kids from Watts, and I attend Washington Center Charter Middle School.
How did the dream manifest?
I attempted to do this back in 1996. It was a new technology called internet radio. The highest internet speed back then was 56K, so buffering and the quality wasn't as good as it is today. But it wasn't until about maybe 3 years ago, Cheryl Branch had a contract with the city and she hired me to teach music production. And I was at John Muir Middle School and at Fremont High School, 2 schools. I always had a dream like, wow, I really wish I can present a program where I can teach radio. Jerome Carter was very instrumental in showing me and teaching me to take a program and presenting it to many schools, So I have to give him credit. I have to give Cheryl Branch credit for helping me out, introducing me to certain school and administrators that really just helped manifest this dream called accelerated radio.
Why do you feel like the accelerated radio program would be vital to our nation's schools?
I think because it's an easy, it's smart, it's an effective way to help young people learn the social and the practical skills that they're going to need to become good leaders for tomorrow. They learn collaboration, they learn how to problem solve and plan together, and these type of social and peer development skills and exercises, they don't get that in their regular curriculum. So this after-school enrichment program really helps to propel what they're learning in school every day.
Hi, I'm Stormy Charlotte, Station Manager at KSVP 99.3, the swag of View Park, graduate of View Park Continuation High School.
Why is it important for schools to provide youth with career and technical skills that will prepare them to be successful as future business leaders and entrepreneurs in a highly competitive job market?
Just that. We live in a global economy. 2012, we're in a global economy. Our young people have to be prepared to compete on the level of global citizen. And this type of program, once again, gives them everyday practical ways to apply those type of skills and have a greater awareness of what's going to be required for them to be successful workers. Some of them may go to work. Many of them are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, owning their own business. And I just think that it just opens up the horizon. It gives us another strategy to reach some of these children who we haven't been able to reach them in the traditional education model. This gives us a chance to try something new.
How can programs such as the Accelerated Radio program be used to create a new social paradigm for education in the United States?
How is it changing the paradigm shift? Because students now have access to the entire community through radio. And if it's an internet radio show, they have access throughout the entire United States. They have access to the parents, they have access to the community, to the businesses. So it's teaching students a skill set, it's teaching them things that they have to know to be employable later in life. It's teaching them things that they can go to college and learn more about and have a career and a future in radio, internet, social media, even television. So we're excited about the whole paradigm shift. It ties and it brings the whole community together. These students are running these radio stations. They're believing in themselves. They're believing in their message. They're believing in their voice. When kids find their voice and realize there's nothing they can't do, it's going to change the world.
Which schools have you worked with so far?
Wow, it's amazing what you can accomplish with a whole lot of passion. I would say in less than 4 months, we were up to 3 schools. In 4 months, 3 schools. The first school was Fremont High School. I was there first teaching music production. Then after that, they gave me an opportunity to teach radio. After that, it was the Watts Middle Learning Charter School. And right after Watts, we had the 99th Street Elementary School. I was a bit hesitant at first because I'm like, I had to teach 11-year-olds. I'm like, well, I got my start at 11 years old. And then after that, we had the View Park Continuation High School. And all of my schools were a blast. I mean, they've made and built some great radio stations on their school campus. Fremont was Fuse FM, 89.1 Fuse FM. And these are real radio stations. The middle school, the Watts Middle School, was 98.1 KKFW, Cool Kids from Watts. They came up with a phenomenal name. Then after that, it was the 99th Street School. They were Cool Kids from 99th, KKNN, and Swag FM was View Park Continuation High School. Great school, by the way.
I see them continue to make a difference. So look at the course that we need to do. We need to bring our parents, our families back, our community back.
Hi, my name is Elijah McLucas, aka Big Boy on Campus. I am the new media director at 98.1 KKFW, Cool Kid from Watts. I go to Watts Learning Center Charter Middle School.
Give us some insight into the program. How does it work and what do you teach?
Well, the program was designed to teach kids the ins and outs of radio, and they are actually running a real life, breathing radio station on their school campus. I have them submit to me resumes for positions for program director, music director, promotions director, station manager, and I teach them how to run a radio station. The biggest story and the most important thing about the program is that I'm using it as a net just to kind of reel them in, to teach them the importance of living a disciplined life, and also throwing in some life principles as well, and teaching them how to be responsible, how to be leaders, how to be entrepreneurs, because they're running their own business. Because we get into the marketing and the branding of the radio station, teach them how to build an audience, how to keep an audience, how to brand and market their radio station, how to sell their radio station. We also teach them how to create content for their radio station, shows like countdown shows, mix shows. They come up with the name of their radio station, the brand, the positioning statement, and it's so good watching these kids on fire and in action running their very own radio station.
I'm a technical engineer for the radio station, and my job is to get there before everybody and set up and be the last person to leave to break down the equipment and put it away.
In a few minutes, we're going to have you guys give shout-outs to your parents, and we're going to ask you guys what's your favorite song, okay? Do you have any questions? Yes?
What was the question? Well, when I first get there, my first day on the job, I had Mr. Kevin Nash to instruct me how to put everything together. So when I first get there, the first thing I do is make sure all this equipment right here is connected, and I make sure this is connected as well, because if all this stuff is not connected right, this little machine box right here, it could explode. So I gotta be real careful about everything I set up and make sure I'm setting the equipment up right.
My name is Africa Warrior, graduate from View Park Continuation High School, program director at 99.3 KSVP, the swag of View Park.
Tell us about your experience with Accelerated Radio School of Broadcasting.
Enlightening is the main word I would use. Accelerated Radio has showed me just that it's not just about going to school and getting a job and working. It's actually, you can go out there and you can do something that you like. And you can live that, and that can be your career.
The experience that I had in Accelerated Radio was the technical engineer. I learned how to be a jock, and I was just around the equipment that I was never around at home. Usually when I'm at home, I'm just around the computer, but when the experience came for me to be in the radio program, it just showed me a lot.
It was great. I mean, it showed me a lot. It opened a lot of doors, and it, opened up a career door for me, because now going into school, that's what I'm studying, broadcasting, because it's just where I want to be. It made me find my voice, and now I have one, so I'm going to use it.
I want to talk to the ladies in the house who are in charge of the music and in charge of promoting this radio station. By the way, this station is KKNN 99.3, Cool Kids from 99. Jennifer, you can't hold your face like that, please. There you go. You can't be shy when you're on the radio. So, Fatima, she is our promotions director. So, how are you going to take this station to #1? What are your ideas?
My ideas are to promote the radio station by having a lot of events, and we could have a bunch of games. We could make t-shirts, backpacks, bumper stickers. We're gonna try to make this radio station hot.
There we go. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 12 years old.
12 years old. All right, she's our promotions director for the radio station. And newly appointed, we have Jennifer Martinez. She is our music director. She's going to be the person putting in our music system right here. If you can tell, we got pizza, we got music stuff, we got a rotation system here where we're going to rotate our power songs, our top 15, our oldies, and our recurrent songs as well. So, Jen, how are you going to make this station sounding hot musically? What you going to do? What you got planned?
I'm going to put music and make and put on a lot of new music and put on hot songs and do remixes.
Is that right? So where do you go to find the hot music? They're like the chart songs. Where do you go?
Billboard.com.
Billboard.com. So which genres of music you've been checking out?
Pop, rock, power, oldies.
Is that right?
I am Simone Charles, one of the administrators at Fremont High School located in Los Angeles, California.
Why was it important to incorporate the Accelerated Radio program into your existing academic program? And how does it link directly to both national and California content standards?
Well, we thought it extremely important to integrate the Accelerated Radio program into our school program and our after-school program, specifically because it gives students an outlet, a different activity to do after school, something that they're not normally exposed to, and a vehicle to exercise their creativity and expression. As far as the California standards are concerned, it's one of the artistic standards, and under communication, under the arts, those are all standards that students need to be aware of and they need to be proficient in this 21st century economy, society, decade. So we wanted to make sure that our students are proficient, that they can demonstrate their knowledge of the California standards via communication, and radio is a perfect way for them to do that.
Did you have any aspirations of being in radio prior to taking the Accelerated Radio course?
Oh, I didn't. I used to listen to the radio a lot, and I said that they have a lot of fun on there. And then, so once Mr. Nash came with the papers and everything, I was like, why don't I sign up for it? I should have some fun too.
Radio, not necessarily, but I do want to be on TV hosting somebody's television show, reality show, something. I just want to be on TV because I feel that I have that kind of presence to just be explosive on the TV. You're going to remember my name when you see me. So being in this program, it actually showed me that there is, another way to get myself out there and prepare myself to be where I want to be.
Not aspirations, more like just it was an idea, but then when Kevin Nash came to my school and he actually presented the program, it was just like, wow, like this can happen. Like we can be on the radio. It's crazy.
99.3 KSVP, the swag of View Park. This is DJ Riga with the Old School Hour. Right before we have the top 10 at 2, which DJ Mac the Mac. So right now we're gonna go into the next song, which is Juicy Fruit. Here on 99.3 KSVP, the swag of View Park.
My name is Linda Moore. I'm the director of Watts Learning Center Charter Middle School.
Research indicates that programs in the arts tend to help raise students' test scores and academic achievement. Why is it essential for educators to engage students in more creative and technologically advanced ways?
Well, first of all, one of the critical pieces that we have to develop more or bring back to the curriculum is the arts. Liberal arts programs were really a mainstream for those students that needed additional support in what their creative juices were allowing them to have. To see the children understand frequency, to see the children understand radio waves from a real life approach and a real life perspective, it becomes almost mind-boggling. The children are the managers, they're the directors, they're the technical engineers. They're the ones that are putting all of these things that we hear and we take for granted just hearing on the radio, but to actually know the nuts and bolts of it, that's what Accelerated Radio was able to bring from a technological standpoint. Now, is it necessary for every student to understand what happens in a literacy-based program similar to Accelerated Radio? Absolutely, because those are the technological advances that are going to take our children into a global economy for the 21st century. What our students were able to share with other students and share with the local community, I have not heard it done yet. So in terms of technological advances, it was an advance for us to actually employ the resources that Accelerated Radio were able to bring to us, but it was another technological advance for our students to actually have the equipment and have what they needed to have Cool Kids from Watts, 98.1.
Happy birthday to you. From 98.1 KKMW, Cool Kids from Watts.
Yeah.
My name is Kim.
What has Accelerated Radio given you, and what are some of the disciplines you will use throughout your life?
My number one flaw, I think, is my punctuality, and Accelerated Radio has really helped me out with that because you can't be late. Just people wait on you and you don't want that, and just the fact that we're broadcasting to people, outside people that are listening, it makes you care, it makes you want to just do everything right. It just makes you just so much pride, it puts so much pride in you.
It gave me a lot of things. I like to be on time, make sure your work is done, keep your grades up, and be on time. And the discipline to just make sure your work is done.
The number one I learned is discipline, and a lot of it. I mean, I had discipline, but with radio, you have to have a lot of it, and you have to have a lot of dedication and a lot of patience, because it can get frustrating sometimes. I mean, you can't fix the group of people that you work with. I mean, you can, but you never know what you're getting into. So it showed me to just be patient with people. It helped me gain more patience and more dedication to do what I want to do, which is be on radio now, just to get my foot in the door. So it gave me a lot of dedication to do it. Now it's on my mind. I go from station to station to station, picking up little things here and there to add to my repertoire, just to practice, get my voice up that high, get my personality a little bit more, so people can just know who I am.
We have to, as educators, let our students know that advancing technology is the wave of the future. When I was coming up, If you wanted to make a phone call and you were already out of the house, you could use a payphone, and they would cost 10 cents. Then they went up to a quarter. Well, now students communicate via Skype, through their text messages, through their telephones, their mobile phones. So they do everything that we dreamed about. And we cannot have them pay a dime or a quarter to make a phone call when they can do it from their cell phones. They live in a world that we can only have imagined when I was coming up. So as they progress, we progress, and society progresses. So it's extremely important that we engage them in those technological advancements so that they can then be the wave of the future. They may be the next person to create another Google, another Skype, or Twitter.
Accelerated Radio prepares students as future leaders, broadcasters, journalists, and entrepreneurs. Why would it be critical to equip students with these vital skills in today's job market?
When I was coming up, I always wanted to be on the radio. And I had majored in communications in college, but we didn't have that opportunity to go into that field. So by students being able to have this available to them on campus, at their high school, before they get into college, it lets them know that you can have a future in some of the things that you want to be or want to become, or even maybe some of your colleagues want to become. So by having this program on campus before they even go into college is a true benefit. And it teaches them that I can have a career, I can make my own career, I can become an entrepreneur. Radio doesn't just mean that you have to be a radio personality. There are other vehicles too. They can be a behind-the-scenes person. They can be, perhaps it could be a vehicle to launch them into television. They might want to be a producer or production assistant. So it gives them all of those ideas and opens up their mind and broadens their horizons to things that they never even knew that were open to them before, especially in this community where we are.
One piece that we've learned from our SCAN reports, which are basically the national reports, global reports that tell us what's going to be needed in 100 years, 200 years, what type of jobs are going to be offered. What Accelerated Radio has promoted masterfully is our students thinking about jobs that don't even exist yet. Okay, what will radio become 100 years from now? These are thoughts that the average student isn't thinking about. They're calling in, they're doing their shout outs, they're wanting to hear themselves on the radio, they're wanting to hear their family's names mentioned on the radio. But our students are a little deeper than that. They're doing things from a greater perspective than that. In 100 years, what will radio become? And if they have the technological foundation for what it is currently, then to see it and visualize it into what it will become later, becomes a natural piece for them. So in terms of the career market, the job market, and how is this going to impact where they go, what we found is that Accelerated Radio was a bridge to closing achievement gaps with students that would otherwise shy away from technological type programs. They were actually attracted to the program. And it wasn't just the fact that they had a radio station, it was the fact that they had a mentor, they had people to guide them throughout the process, they had people to explain to them what every gidget and gadget meant and how it impacted what you heard, what you felt, and what you were able to understand in terms of message delivery across radio waves. So for us, the impact on the job market, our children will more or less be the ones to help create where that market will go. They're certainly ahead of the game when it comes to understanding what's going to happen, and we can thank Accelerated Radio for that.
Do you have any plans to continue in the broadcasting industry?
Yes, later on in life, when I'm in college, I want to attend a radio program, and when I graduate, probably join up with a radio station, 102.3 or 97.1, or Kiss FM or The Wave, and be a technical engineer or a program director or manager.
Yes, I do. Fall semester starts for me. Right now, I'm going to be heading to SNC. I'm transferring to USC so that I can get my certificate for broadcasting and skip all the small steps from me being there and just get into broadcasting. Trust me, you will see my name pretty soon. Just remember, Africa. It's going to be up in lights. You'll see me.
Not yet, but it is definitely an opportunity and a new open door for me, because it wouldn't have crossed my mind if it wasn't for Accelerated Radio.
Yes, I do. I said, I think I want to be on a radio station, or I might start my own radio station because it looked fun and just like I want to have my own.
What are some of the goals you have set for Accelerated Radio?
I want to build a huge international network for kids, teach them how to communicate, teach them how to share ideas. I truly want to unify every school district in America and beyond. I want them to have a voice, not only to change what's going on in their school, their neighborhood, but the world. So looking into the future, I see Accelerated Radio becoming a global radio network.
Give it up for the kids from the Accelerated Broadcasting Program.
Thank you for everything that you have done for us.
Well, having Accelerated Radio was a critical bypass for us. It was a crossroad that we couldn't pass up. It's an opportunity for our students not only to have oral presentation skills, but written presentation skills, which is very much a part of California standards content. One thing that we found with Accelerated Radio is the students that were a part of the program were able to directly correlate their success with what was happening in their English classes as well as their history classes with what they were learning based from the literacy-based connections with Accelerated Radio. So when I think about why was it necessary, it was necessary because every student learns differently, every student has a need that must be met, and Accelerated Radio was one of those biggest bang for your buck type programs where we could access not only oral presentation, written presentation, reading comprehension, vocabulary development, in addition to literary analysis, as well as technology, research and evaluation through the program itself.
Accelerated Radio School of Broadcasting is committed to improving the health and growth of our students, and we're building a new generation of strong people.
Hi, my name is Stormy, station manager at KSVP 99.3, pleading with you to listen to these facts on teen pregnancy. Did you know each year almost 750,000 U.S. women aged 15 to 19 become pregnant? Did you know the U.S. teen pregnancy rate continues to be one of the highest in the developed world? Did you know 82% of teen pregnancies are unplanned? They account for about 1/5 of all unintended pregnancies annually. Did you know the teenage birth rate in the U.S. is the highest birth rate in the developed world? Abortion is also high. Did you know teenage pregnancy is one of the most difficult experiences a young person might ever face? It interrupts school and life plans. If you didn't know, now you know. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what?
99.3 KSVP, committed to your health and growth.
Committed to your health and growth.
We want to make a difference in the community. Help us. Think first. Help us. Say no to drugs. Help us. Stay in school. Help us. Say no to gang violence. Help us. Respect, love, live. Your community action station, 89.1, The Fuse. Fuse FM. Fuse FM.